There are some people. Ah, yes, two people already. So the song that inspired me for this stream will wait a couple of minutes. Maybe some people will arrive to this stream. Please send me a couple of messages. How I can see? Do you hear me? Do you listen to me? Ah, yes. So great. Today we have a list of topics. Why I'm here? Why the pitch is so terrible? Do you hear me? The sound is fine? Tell me, how is do you hear me? Do you see me? Everything is fine? So, yes, because I look wonderful, because I decided that in this environment should be something beautiful. It's my dress. I hope you like my dress. I dress it like that because it's kind of, we have online dating. So I decided that this video, it will be kind of online dating. I will complain on my life, on all these haters, on chechens who send treatments to me. We have thousands of topics to discuss. And I hope my mom will not disturb us. So I'm so nervous. It's my first stream, and how comes that I do this stream online? Before, you know that I did video. It was not online video. It was video with edition and everything like that. But now I'm in Belarus. Occasionally, I arrive to Belarus. Why it happened? So it's, you know, this new rules, new stupid rules with COVID. So I was in Turkey for weekend, and after that, from Turkey, I came back to Moscow. And as I'm Belarusian, they say that I can't arrive to Moscow from Turkey. I can arrive to Moscow only from Minsk. Yes, that is very stupid rule, but I'm not alone who was in this trap. Another, so it was different people who did the same. There were women from Kazakhstan. She did the same stupidity. In fact, she can fly from Kazakhstan to Moscow. It's possible, but the tickets are expensive. It's like 300 euro, and she did the plan. From Kazakhstan, she went to Minsk. After that, she went to Istanbul, and after that, she went to Moscow. And like that, she thought that, oh, she saved a lot of money, because I suppose all these flights is kind of 50 euro every flight. So she saved half of price. But when she arrived to Sheremetyevo, she did the same. So we were dropped back to Istanbul. From Istanbul, I arrived to Belarus. Now I'm in Belarus in flat of my parents, and I hope my dress will save the picture. Imagine, so as I say, imagine that we have kind of online dating. We have 4 subscribers already. It's enough for me, because I think I will save this video. You will watch it later. I hope sound is fine. If you can't hear me, tell me, okay? After that, you can send me questions too. So, first topic that you want to discuss, and me, I want to discuss with you, it's about Navalny. And what happened now in Russia with all these Navalny topics, absolutely strange things. Because, as for me, now everything what happened, good. Everything what happened now in Russia, it's absolutely mirror of what happened in Minsk in September. It looks very strange. All this video, maybe you saw this video with the violence of police, And before, when I saw this video from Minsk, I thought, no, I just can't believe that all these people, that all these police men are so violent. Why they beat the people? Because, we live in this country, and all of us, we have some friends who are policemen, and my friends, yes, and women of my age already, some of them, they have sons who work in police, and everybody says that we can't believe to this violence. And now a minute of conspirology. We have impression we don't understand who are these people, who are these strange policemen who beat protesters in front of camera, in front of press, in front of journalists, reporters, etc. What evidence I discussed it already in my video, but I won't repeat. So one of my friends who are protester, he in Minsk, it was in Minsk. So he said a very strange thing. He said that on this manifestation there are some provocators who fight with police, like that these provocators want to provoke another protesters to protect them, to fight with police too. And after that I asked another journalist, after that I asked the journalist, who are these provocators, why there are these people who fight with police, who kind of protesters, but they are very violent, very aggressive. They attack police. And he answered that in majority of time, these provocators is policemen. And I asked it, so how you can explain that? And he says that so there is only one explanation to show that protesters are aggressive. So, what happened now in Russia? It's absolutely the same pictures. I see this strange policeman without any names, surnames, who just in front of camera they beat people. Hi. So they beat people just in front of camera. It's so strange. It's like installation. It's like show or movie. So it looks very strange. Later we will discuss different theories what it could be. So I mentioned the same behavior of strange police. I call it fake police. Like there are these movies like Fake Taxi, and yes, and there is a movie Fake. Adult movies, Fake Police, I suppose. Yes, I saw a couple of them. So, and now in Belarus and in Russia, there are the same fake police. After that, what we discussed about this fake police, that some of them, especially, so when it was in Belarus, because listen, Belarusian and Ukrainian pronunciation, they could be a bit similar. Yes, we pronounce he, like ho back. So I don't say so because I don't know, I don't have this Belarusian accent, but a lot of Belarusians and Ukrainians, we speak very similar. So that is the funny that on this video in Belarus, it was not so significant, yes, because we thought it's the same people. But now when we see this video in Russia and this strange police, fake police, I will call them fake police, they speak with Ukrainian pronunciation, with Ukrainian accent. One of women, it's Mantan. Her name is Mantan. I can't, so I don't trust anybody. I just say I just repeat what she says. So she says that she is a lawyer, she is an advocate, criminal advocate, and she says that she is blogger, yes, on YouTube, she is Ukrainian, and she says that. I know a lot of criminals because I'm a criminal lawyer. So one of my criminal friends, he says that information that 5,000 of Ukrainian fighters were sent to Belarus exactly to play this fake police and to play protesters. So she wanted to say that all this, everything what happened on streets of Belarus, it's kind of show. And you know what? No, and I believe that this thousand and thousand of regular people on the street, I believe that there were 200,000 streets on manifestation in Minsk. Of course, it's absolutely possible because all this telegram channels, they published all these pics about violence, etc. And some protesters on the street, they were real people, but the most cruel and significant scenes that you saw in media, in news, they were exactly installations and movies. Why? I have impression it's only my version. How it looks? It looks that there is a group of people who create these stands for European media and American media. So, and how I see that in so so how I see, and I see the same in Russia now. This strange sense with demonstrative violence of police, they don't look natural, these scenes. And I have impression that these scenes were made exactly to show how police is aggressive. And look how it was in Belarus. In Belarus, in the beginning, they say we are against frauds on election. Yes, it was in the beginning, but after that, kind of police became to be very aggressive. All this Telegram channel published this stand with police, with violence of police, and after that, topic of these rallies and manifestation changed, and after that people and these protesters, they begin to discuss the violence of police, and they begin to say that we go on the streets on these rallies because we don't like the behavior of police. And what I see now, the same happened in Russia. Difference is that in Belarus, in September in Belarus, the main channels, it was Telegram channels. You remember this next and certain channels like Viva Belarus, I can translate it like that. And in Russia, it's Instagram and TikTok. And all these media that belongs to Khodorkovsky, because there is a food chain, a lot of different media who, in fact, they repeat one after another this news, this video, they discuss this video, and after that there is a group of bloggers, these bloggers with the faces like that, and they say, oh, police again attack everyone, these suckers of Putin, how it's possible that they're so aggressive and violent. So what happened now in Russia, it's absolutely the same scenario what it was in Belarus. So if in the beginning, there were two manifestations, yes? 23 January, and after that 31 January. Yes, so 23rd January, there were a lot of people on the streets, a lot of people were arrested. That was manifestation for Navalny, like freedom for Navalny. And after that, 31 January, it's already where people who are against of violence of police. And now all these small bloggers and Khodorkovsky's channels, they discuss violence of police, and the same video with a strange, as I say, fake police who attack people just in front of camera. I'm sure that the people who follow to Russian news and Belarusian news, you saw this video. It's on TV Дождь. I'm sure that it's on radio, how it's called, this stupid radio, Free Europe. Yes, so about Radio Free Europe, whom to believe. When so for today in Russia there are two main sources of information. Yes, it's official TV, it's here, and kind of unofficial. It's kind of opposition channels, but in fact, all of them they are not independent. They just repeat one after another, and it's a group of channels that belongs to Khodorkovsky, and group of channels that belongs to Radio Free Europe. And if you open Wikipedia and you investigate what is a Radio Free Europe, you will see that it's a radio that is financed by USA, by Congress of USA. I know that among my subscribers there are Americans, and when I discuss it with them, they say that yes, the American media are absolutely biased now, and they don't know whom to believe because, as I understand, in USA there are blue and red, and both of them they pronounce this alternative truth, and Americans don't know who to believe. The same in Russia, and what I see now in Russia that our society became to be splitted as it was in Belarus, because in Belarus these two parts of population, one group who say me, we are father, but father is kind of Lukashenko, and another group it's supporters of white, red, white flag. It's kind of protesters. So at the moment, these two group of population they hate one another. They argued on the street. They fight on the street. It was almost the civil war, and if this situation could continue, I have impression that could be any war, but now the situation is finished. And for now, as I understand, all these Belarusian fighters, they moved to Russia, and now they produce all this strange protest in Russia. So in Belarus for now everything stopped. Hi. Everything is stopped in Belarus. All these protesters. So I followed them Instagram. Yes, I know what they discuss, and I see. So a few words in Belarus. I see how they changed. And if before they were short, in majority time it was like short. How would say? Short articles with huge peaks, with bright titles about violence and everything like that. Now I'm happy how this rhetoric changed in Belarus. I see that there are new channels with long reads, with some analytics. So, and if before there was only one channel, that Nexta, yet, and everybody, it's 2 million of people, they just followed this stupid Nexta that was full of fakes and this suspected videos, they call them. And now there are a lot of new small channels, like 5,000, 6,000 of subscribers with long readers and with analytic. And so what I want to say is that at last this protest in Russia changed. And if before Belarus it was like a swarm, yes, nothing happened here. People just discuss something on the kitchen and that's all. The good consequence of this protest that now something changed in Belarus. People begin to think about political stuff. They investigate how it's happened in other countries. So how is to say? So I have seen more channels pro Lukashenko, but not but leakers. Well, so it's in Chile, I suppose. I didn't follow, I haven't followed any pro-Lukashenko channels because, in fact, I'm not pro-Lukashenko. I don't care about any Lukashenko. I think that both Lukashenko and Tikhanovskaya are shit, and what I think more. So now I will discuss what I think about all the situation. Guys, so it's 90 minutes so already I discussed and I didn't say important things. So now important things. I have impression, and not only me, different who are really independent bloggers, not these suckers of Khodorkovsky and Soros, who just you can recognize them by serious faces. They're like that. It's so funny. They just all of them, they with serious faces. But there is small group of independent bloggers who say the same things. We have impression that all these protests in Russia and in Belarus, they were supported by FSB and KGB in Belarus. Yes, because the same, so in Belarus and in Russia, we have impression that it was not possible to arrange these manifestations without help of secret services, and it means that without support of Lukashenko and Putin. Consequence of this protest in Belarus, what happened in conclusion, that people who were a bit doubt in Lukashenko, who say, no, we are tired of Lukashenko, because I discussed with my friends, with my parents, etc., and they say that when they were voted, they voted against everybody, because in Belarus, it's opposite to what happened in Russia. In this poll paper, yes, there is the cell against everybody, because in Russia you can't choose, you can't vote against everybody. So if on election day all people they were against everybody, after all these protests that happened, people with eyes, with a brain, I don't know, not these stupid protesters who just listening to for fakes and bright titles. Yes, regular people who just saw all this fake, they saw all these strange protesters who protest for nothing, because for Belarusian people who are very meticulous and very neat, for them such slogans like "we are for freedom of speech, relief prisoners for regular Belarusian people who in fact are countryside people, for them it was very strange. And after all this protest, rating of Lukashenko increased, and I see that all these people, they say, majority of people, for my opinion, it's my opinion, yes, what I see around me in my city is Babruisk, it's not Minsk, so what I see that regular people, they say, no, it's better Lukashenko stay, because it's any stability, because this new Tikhanovskaya, we don't understand who is she. For sure, she is agent, or she is supported by Europe, by Poland. And I have impression that the same will happen in Russia, because now what I see is that independent bloggers, they discuss all faults of Navalny. They investigate his past, how he built his career, what strange contradictions happened with him in his life. What is the list of contradictions? Yes, strange contradiction in the life of Navalny. He is only one person in Russia who has two conditionals. Conditional punishment. You know, when after conviction you don't go to jail, yes, but you walk everywhere, and you just know once a month you visit police station. So if you have this kind of punishment, and you have new crime, and you did a new crime, after that you go to jail. Yes, so with Navalny it's only one person who had two conditionals in the same time. After that, there is an article, we discussed this article with one of lawyers, it was in 2014, when Navalny was on conditional punishment, yes, and after that he was arrested by police on one of manifestations that he arranged. After that, there is an article on Interfax. Interfax, it's a news agency. So, and on this In this article, they say that so FSIN, it's organization who control all these prisons, jails, etc. So they, after arrest of Navalny, they send application to the court that we arrested the man who should be on conditionals. So he should be at home. He was under home arrest. After during time when he should be on home arrest, he was arrested on station. After that, this police, they sent application to court that we arrested the guy who should be on home arrest. After that, as he restrict home arrest, he should be sent to jail. And in this article on Interfax, they say that the police sent these applications 4 times, and 4 times court restrict to investigate this case. So maybe I have more in my list. So what all this, I have a list of topics of things that I want to discuss with you. So what you want to say that all these small bloggers, independent bloggers, they say that we have impression that Navalny, he worked together with Putin. How we can explain that? And I really think so too, because why I don't like Navalny, I will tell you. Because instead of fighting for really important things, as it was with Yellow Gilet, for example, in France. Yes, Yellow Gilet, they didn't ask to change the Macron or another president. They demand very tricky things. Yes, like decrease the tax or to keep retreat age on low level. Very tricky things. And problem of why I don't like all this Navalny movement, because instead really important demanding about, I don't know, prices, pensions, salaries, behavior of building companies, construction companies, yes, who cheat people, and another topics. Instead that all these protesters, they are accumulated in the same place, and they just fight for very abstractive things like freedom of speech, etc. Because in fact I can say that in Russia, freedom of speech, if you compare with another countries, better. Level of freedom of speech is better. Of course, we don't have independent TV, but at last we have independent internet. Please don't. And the biggest problem, for example, for me as for YouTubers, the biggest problem I see exactly from YouTube and their censorship about things that are not linked to Russia. Yes? Yes. No, for example, what you want to see my address? Yes, I suppose. So, what about Navalny? My two investigations about Navalny are under censorship in YouTube. So if I say something against Navalny, it's under censorship. And if you say something against Putin in YouTube, you became very popular immediately. What is the problem? Okay, it's not to me, so I'm glad that you discussed one to another. Very good. So I can continue. After that, another thing that proves that Navalny worked together with Putin, and that all this protest, it just show for me and for you, for European, even it more show for Europeans than for Russian, because for Russian we see that something strange. There was a scene when one Chechen guy. So now we jump to topic of Chechens. There was a scene, you can find it if you ask a Chechen guy fight with Russian police on manifestation against Navalny. You will see this scene when Chechenian guy fight with policemen. He cry. He's very aggressive, and after that, this video, this video. Attract a lot of attention. What was strange for Russian people in this scene? We know who are Chechens. I will tell you who are Chechens. I said about that in one of my previous videos. Chechens, it's a personal army of Putin. They can say that we don't like Russian, we were sent to Siberia of Stalin, etc. But everybody knows that they are bodyguards and they are a kind of army of Putin. Speak about politics in Russia than in France. Good question. I will answer to your question. Chechens, it's personal army of Putin, and when we see this scene when Chechenian guy fight with the police who kind of protect Putin's regime, we can see to this scene. It's absolutely nonsense. No any Chechenian guy will protect Navalny. It's just impossible. They live in. Do you want to know how many Chechens exist on this planet? 1,500,000. So it's a small community. They are not different. They are very similar one to another. They are not like Russian or Americans or even French. Yes, they are very close community. They work in Russia. They protect in Moscow. So how they work? They live in the same place on Kutuzovsky. People who were in Moscow, they know what is Kutuzovsky. It's kind of huge street, one of main street and expensive streets. So they live on Kutuzovsky. How they work? They are bodyguards for rich people who live on Rublovka. They do different criminal, but you know that in Russia, power and criminal, it's the same. Yes, and police, siloviki. In fact, it's the same group of people, and Putin from the same group of people too. So when we see this scene when Chechenian guy fight for Navalny, we understand that it's impossible to be. About France and what I think about freedom of speech in France, because I know French, I know France, I speak French a bit. I worked before all this stuff, this pandemic, I worked in French newspaper. What I noted, I just understand that you don't have another sources of information. You consider that all of your media, you consider that you have freedom of speech because you have different media who broadcast different information. But in fact, I don't see that it's different information or alternative information. I see that all of them are very similar, yes, and to be kind of and to have kind of alternative view on something, it's absolutely ashamed in France, because if in Russia you say something kind of me, yes, the person like me, okay, they just will call me crazy Kremlin bot. They say you, if I put any comment like something against Navalny, some comments on Facebook, everybody answered to me, you are Putin bot, you are Kremlin bot, you got 15 rubles for this comment. So they consider that if you don't support Navalny, it means that you work for Kremlin. In fact, it was the same in Belarus. They say that if you say something against Tikhanovsky or Tikhanovskaya or against protest, it means that you work for Lukashenko. Let's continue, yes, with I'm sorry, everything not one by one, yes, everything is mixed, just some things that I want to discuss with you. So, with Navalny, there was a very strange, so what happened now with Navalny? Now there are certain courts against Navalny. And one of them, it was against of insulting of veteran. Yes, veteran. It's so he did the video. Navalny blamed some group of people on some video, and one of veterans of of Second World War. He says that he was insulted by Navalny. There was a court against Navalny. It was just a couple of days ago, and during this court, lawyers of Navalny, advocates of Navalny, they asked journalists and everybody, and even policemen were dropped from the court. So it was very strange because it's lawyers of Navalny who asked about close court. Kind of, he has something to hide. Yes. But it's okay. It's his own business. There was another strange things about all these protests that happened now. So there was 2 days of protest. All protesters were arrested, yes, and they say, and on media, on your media, on European media and Khodorkovsky's media, they said that there were thousands of people on the street, everybody were arrested. After that, different small bloggers on Facebook, I don't know, in different comments, etc. They say that on the streets they don't see a lot of protesters. They say that it looks like yellow gilets. Yellow gilets, it means press. Yes, it's journalists, photographers, etc. So they say that in my city it's kind of yellow gilets because they see only journalists and press who are hunting. They try to find some protesters. So if 23rd January there were some protesters, after that 31 January there was not a lot of protesters. There was very easy to arrest these people. This scene with these pigs, maybe if you follow the news, you see these strange pigs from jails. It looks like installation. It's a continuation of this movie with protesters. Just I recommend you just look on these pigs. Yes, just open your eyes and think a bit who did these pictures, why these pigs look so good, where they get phones and how they did these photos, they sent these photos, etc. 40 minutes, I'm tired already of this topic. So what I want to say in conclusion, that all this protest doesn't look natural. I have yes, you know. So now I take the lessons of singing. So maybe soon I will record some songs for you. Dating again, please. About dating later, because so let's continue. One of how it's called, managers of Navalny, he says that we will not make any protest anymore until springtime. This sounds very strange because what it means that all this fire of protest will stop to springtime, where they will get new energy, because if Navalny is arrested now, it means that all this energy of protest should work now. How, it's not my idea, but I like this explanation. One of bloggers, how he explained that. He explained that in fact it's opposite to logic, because by the logic it should be, because now for now prisons of Russia are full. All these extension centers, they are full of people, they are full of protesters. It means that if people go to the streets again, they couldn't be arrested. And in the same time, this manager of Navalny, Voronov, what is his name, Alexander Voronov, he says that please, our supporters don't go to streets again. But it's absolutely opposite of logic, because if jails are full, it means that protests could be successful at least. But he do something unlogical. He kind of helped to police, yes, kind of police explain, please guys, don't go to streets anymore because our jails are full of people. Please don't go to the streets again, and they don't go to the streets. So why all this happened? First of all, me and another bloggers, what I see, we think that all this necessary to distract people from really important things. All this protest, all these contradictions between Navalny and Putin. As for me, it looks like, these contradictions between two celebrities who was divorced, or one celebrity singer insulted or offended another celebrities, yes, and after that they fight in Instagram, and their fans, they fight one against another. So all that, it looks exactly that, instead of demands really important things in the law. So listen, in Russia there is this main government website where where deputy before accept new order, every deputy should present this law on special website. And if this project receive or attract a lot of dislikes, yes, this project will not be this project of the order will not come true. Sorry for my English. So what I want to say is that this Navalny, instead investigation of all these difficult orders that regular people can't understand, because this language of law, it's very difficult. Instead of really important things, this Navalny just fight with different palaces, and this palace, you know that the bloggers discuss that not exactly palace of Putin, and there are contradictions in his investigation. And if you in fact you can find on your language, because I'm sure that you saw this video about palace of Putin, investigation of Navalny. And so a few words about this palace. Sorry that I jump from topic to topic. I want to say, so this topic of palace is not new investigation. This palace began to build 10 years ago, and Russian media, they published this investigation. These investigations about this palace already, it's absolutely not new information, but Navalny published this information. He arranged it in a perfect movie. I see the quality of this movie, yes, of this video quality. It's absolutely high level, looks gorgeous. They put subtitles in obligatory English subtitles. It's first time, I think it's first time or maybe second time when they put English subtitles under his investigation. This video was produced exactly for European, for Western, world. After that, this Voronov, who asked Voronov, I think, or Vorobyov, this manager of Navalny, when he said that, please, we will not make new manifestation to support Navalny, we will fight for Navalny with with a power abroad. I mean that another foreigner countries will help to relieve Navalny. It sounds very strange for Russian people. It sounds very strange because we consider that if some abroad country help to Navalny, how it looks for us? It looks like Navalny is agent of another countries. the topic of his education, of his kids. One of bloggers, Russian bloggers, she said that look, where Navalny was studied, he was studied his last education, like political education. He got in Yale, if I don't mix something. So it's kind of special community club of Черепи-кости. It's bones and skeleton. How it's called? I forget the word, sorry. Skull, yes. Skull and bones. So it's kind of hidden state, yes, secret state. What we can think about that? Of course, we think that Navalny is a project of Americans, yes, but in the same time, we discuss that Navalny worked together with Putin. And I have conclusion about all that. I have a conclusion that Putin, Navalny, and another leaders of another states, it's in fact the same group of people. How I see them, it's my abstractive view. I see them kind of, they are porn stars. Yes? Kind of they play their games, kind of Merkel says that Putin is terrible, and Putin say like Biden is terrible or Trump is terrible, but in fact they just play their roles for us. Yes, they make the screen, they hide really important things. I don't know about tax, about corruption, really serious corruption systems. So what we see on TV is just news for hide important information from regular people. And after that, we involve to all these stupid fights our society. Guys, am I have connection? Yes. So I come back because I'm sorry, I had an impression that something happened to my connection. Am I back? Please say something. Do you hear me? Yes. So good. So okay, so USA is split for two parts. Our countries are split. We fight one to another. It's the same fight. If I will support, I don't know, one star singer who fight against his last, her or his ex husband. It's a fight that doesn't mean anything for me. So let's continue. Let's investigate what I have in my list. Guys, maybe this video will finish suddenly. It means that my battery is dead. About coronavirus, I have a few words about coronavirus in Russia. I can tell you that in Russia it was absolutely paradise. If I compare with, so I visited Turkey, I know how it's in Europe. I can tell you that here it's absolutely, in Belarus it's paradise everywhere. Nobody asks you to put any mask. If you want, you dress mask. If you don't want, you don't put any mask. It's your choice. How it's in Russia? In Russia, almost the same. So from last week, even bars are open, but before, how it was before. Because in Russia, these restaurants and discotheques is together. Yes, bar, restaurant, discotheque, it's the same place. We almost don't have places like discotheque without food. It's not exist in Russia. We like to eat. Hello. So how it's how it was in Russia? You arrived to a restaurant, and security answered to you, no, sorry, we are closed. But if you go from back door, they accept you. So officially, like the official door is closed, and it's written that we are open until 23. But in fact, from back door you can try. Yes, you should move here. From back door you can try, and you are in restaurant, you are in discotheque. Nobody put any masks. Everybody dance, drink together, and does everything what they want. In after that, in Turkey, what I noted in Turkey, police on the street, in any places, everybody walk near you and they ask you, please, put your mask on your nose. Even if you put your mask like that, they push you. They push you. Stefan, I know you hate it, sorry. So if you put your mask like that, they push you to put mask normally everywhere. It happened like that, but not in Russia. In Russia, you invite to the shop when it was absolutely regime of masks. Yes, when it was when it was regime of masks, how it was in the shop. You enter to the shop, to supermarket. Yes, you take your bag, you put everything what you need, you walk without mask, you do everything what you want. But when you come to case to pay, and we don't use any cash, all of us we pay with our cards and phones. Only at this moment they ask you to put the mask. So you, with your basket, you arrive with your food, you put your food on this line. After that you put your mask, you pay, you undress your mask, and you do everything what you want. Yes, I know for Europeans it sounds absolutely terrible, but listen, I will not discuss in this video. I can't discuss the statistic of coronavirus because it's so contradictable questions. We can't discuss it, especially with European people, because as I say, I consider that European people are limited with full information. I can have my opinion. So after that, let's answer on a few questions. Do you think people in Minsk are as arrogant as Moscovians? They say Moscovian are arrogant, and IDK if in Minsk is the same. So I noted a few things in Minsk. Look, in Moscow, if two people begin to speak in the same time, to talk in the same time, they begin to speak more loud, and after that, one of them give up and shut up, and the one who speaks more loud, he continue his conversation. In Minsk, it's absolutely not like that. If two people begin to speak in the same time, they shut up and they kind of offer time to continue your speech. After that, what I noted more, it's not me, it's a journalist with whom I worked in Belarus. He noted that if in Moscow nobody speak English, it's not in St. Petersburg, it's more or less fine, because St. Petersburg it's almost Europe. In Moscow, nobody talk on English. They just, if you come to Moscow, please speak Russian. But in Belarus, different taxi drivers, people who work in supermarkets, they try to understand you and to say a few words on English, like yes, no, hello, please, bread, butter. They say what they can. After that, what I noted, if, for example, some administratives, some people who work with you, for example, you arrive to any organization and you have different questions and problems, yes? And if in Moscow they say, you ask, for example, in supermarket, do you have, I don't know, the butter? And they say, no, we don't have. And after that, you ask them, do you know where I can buy the butter? And they say, we don't know. But in Belarus, they give you advices. They really want to help you. They will explain you. You can find the butter on that street. Yes, they can explain you where to buy it. So I asked that with one of my friends, and how he explained that he said it's because Belarus is monogenetical country. Like here, all people are Belarusian because in St. Petersburg and in Moscow, what I see is these people who work, for example, doesn't matter, butter and butter, everything there could be anything, doesn't matter. I don't know why butter. So, and here all people, it's Belarusian people, people who works in supermarkets, who clean the streets, everybody is Belarusian here. And for example, in Moscow, especially in Moscow and in St. Petersburg, um, people are mixed and a lot. So why in Moscow white people, I'm sorry that I pronounce that it sounds really racist or nationalist, but people who clean streets in Moscow, they almost never Russian. Only people who clean Red Square, all streets, streets around Kremlin, they are white. Yes, they are Russian, Slavic. Rest of streets are cleaned by Middle Asian, I can tell you. The same in a shop, different Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. It's the people who work in supermarket. You just come to supermarket and you see all of them, they are Middle Asians. I don't know, different Middle Asian people. After that, you asked me, yes, Belarusian people are kind, it's absolutely true. Welcome to Belarus, you will like Belarusian girls, they're absolutely hungry of men. Belarusian men, they're not very pretty. It's not Moscow. Here there is difficulties with the men, so you should arrive. So do you have any serious questions? Maybe there. Biden implied that main enemy is Russia more than China. So what about Trump? Who is the more enemy of Russia, Biden or Trump? So what we consider here in Russia that instead to fight with your own problems in USA, like I don't know, unemployment or problem with health care, etc., you fight with Russia. But this, in fact, it's the same in Russia. So if before main problems there was USA, after that there was Ukraine on TV. They all the time try to discuss Ukraine and USA, and of course they blame. USA in all difficulties that we have in countries, these sanctions like that, or what you expect, our prices increased because of sanctions of USA against certain oligarchs. It's very funny. Yes, about, there was a topic about Tatars, Caucasians, please. So I can tell you about religion contradictions. I know this topic very well because I did the article with a French newspaper. We did articles about different religions in Russia. At the moment, we visited Tatarstan, and I can tell you that Kazan is a city where 50% of people are Orthodox and 50% of people are Muslims. After that, we visited Ulan-Ude. It's Buryatia, you know, Buryatia with beautiful Buryatian people. I'm fan of Buryatian people. They are, yes, I like them. I see they're so smart, they're so cool. So I'm fan of Buryatian. So in Buryatia, they have that sun, it's how it's called, Buddhism. Yes, they're Buddhist. And after that we visited Tuva. Maybe you heard about Tuva. It's people who have their special singing. So they are shamanist. So we have different religions in our country, and I can tell you that so religion, it's the last question where we have contradictions. How we come there? I suppose it's because of USSR or USSR. Yes, because at time of USSR we were atheist. We didn't care about any religions, and we live in such a mixed community. So religion, it's absolutely not our topic. We don't have fights about religion. About nationality, I can compare. So, as I say, in Belarus, it's a monogenetical country. Yes, here we don't have this problem. In Belarus, there are a lot of Catholics, but it's not a question of fights too. So, in Moscow is a special city where there are a lot of different people from all over the Russia. Yes, and there I see, for me, it was so visible when I moved to Moscow from St. Petersburg. I moved to Moscow from St. Petersburg, and I saw immediately how many different people of different nationalities, how they live together and how they are divided. Yes, and I say that these people who clean the streets, in majority of time, they are Middle Asian. Problem of them, they live in their close community, and I can say that they mix a lot of with Russian. If we have contradictions with them, yes, we had contradiction with them. We had certain fights on the markets, you know, these cheap markets. But as for Middle Asians, no, we don't fight with them a lot. With Caucasians, I don't know. In Moscow, Caucasian and Russian, in fact, we are mixed together. So what I want to say for Tatar, Russian and Tatar, in fact, it's the same. Me, I don't see difference between Tatarian and Russian. Look at me. Who knows, am I Tatarian or not? Yes, I look a bit Tatar. Kazan, it's a special city. It's so cool when you see, but in the same way in Istanbul, I was so wondered. It's the same in Istanbul when two girls who are friends, they walk together. One of them in hijab and clothes everything, and the second just naked like on the beach. Many countries want to send their nationalities. Many countries want to say their nationalities from Russia. What do you mean? I say this is a Turkish citizen. Russia is strongest with Central Asians, Tatars, and Caucasian, Tuva people, Muslim people, and Christian people. Only Russian people is not so. They're not a question. KGB tried to risk Trump for 40 years. Please, do you have any really serious questions? So what Trump says that Russia was a good competitor. Yes, it's very cool to fight with any enemy who are not very dangerous. For Chechens, I said already in the beginning. You see, I'm nervous. As I said in the beginning about Chechens, I say that they are suckers of Putin. Sorry that I say this word, but we know that they absolutely integrated to this higher Russia. They work for Putin. They are bodyguards of Putin and oligarchy. They live in another close community. They don't gather with Russian people. I met Chechens and I had Chechenian friends. And I received a lot of treatments after one of my last video about Chechens in France. I will tell you this story because I didn't make the video about this topic, and now because it's our online dating, so it's time to complain on Chechenians. I published the video Chechens in France. Maybe you saw this video. There is a green picture. This clickbait picture, yes, with a woman in a green dress. And in fact, why I choose this picture, because on in this video, if you open the video, you will see that I'm dressed almost the same green dress with the flowers. So occasionally I just choose this picture occasionally. And in fact, in this video, I support Chechens, I protect them, and I say something like, please don't make any stupid jokes about Mohammed and about Islam. I did some jokes about Chechenians there, and after that, I began to receive not certain, I can tell you that I get like maybe 40 or 50 messages on Instagram from very, very young Chechenian people who are younger than 20. No, I can't do this, Ginka. So I got these messages from young people who are 14 years old or young, they're younger than 20, 25. They asked me to delete this picture, and of course, but I will not do that. I'm sorry, Chechenian, I can't do that, because this is one of my most popular video. I'm blogger. And they asked me to delete this picture. They said that this picture is insulting them. What I can say about Ahmed, and they say, no, Chechenian girls, they are so modest, they are never like that, but I saw Chechenian girls in Moscow, I did party with them. They were dressed, I'm sorry, they were dressed like a horse. They were with earrings like that, with hairs like that. There was my lips, if you compare with their lips, they were like that. All these cheeks, makeup, lashes, dresses like that, high heels, etc. So what I want to say for Chechenian, when they're in Chechnya, yes, when they're in Chechnya, maybe they are in hijab and everything, but when they're in Moscow, they're absolutely not like that. They behave normally. When with these girls I arrive and try to restaurant, all men were looking like that, because even they look so, how to say, attractive if you compare even with Russian girls, because Russian girls sometimes they are dressed more or less, fashionable, oversized or something, but then girls, they were absolutely like that. So please don't explain anything about modest Chechenian girls. They are modest only if there are somebody who controls them. But I heard the same about Arabic women who just leave the Arabic countries. They immediately take off their hijab and they dress naked. Yes, they're absolutely horny. Do Russian women like plastic surgery, like breast, butt implants? Yes, they like it a lot. I know a lot of girls who they save money to do all this shit. I can tell you that I'm a member of one of chats of girls. It's especially community of girls. I call them this community of girls, and I'm part of this community, of course, because I'm gold digger, as you know. So, and all these girls, they have their profession, get married or die. So it's a special girls who want to find a rich husband. It's absolutely important for them. So all of them, they save money. They try to make huge boobs, huge lips, different body modifications. They want to change their noses. Why it happened like that? Because we have Instagram. a lot of Russian girls, they spend time in Instagram. After that, you can see how they're similar. You open their Instagram pages and you see how all of them are similar in the same pose, like that, like that. It's like list of posing. After that, list of locations where should be where they should make their pics. After that, there is a list of operations that they should do. All this boobs, etc. Is it popular? I can tell you that it's in fashion, especially in Moscow, and for some kind of girls, it's yes, it's their dream. If it's absolutely popular, I can tell you that I suppose less than in USA, because what I see in USA is that a lot of girls, women, they does this boobs in Russia. It's less popular, but it's continue because it continue to be a bit expensive for many girls. It continue to be expensive because not every girl can save 2-3 thousand euro to make these boobs. So if you want to seduce a Russian woman, offer her to make new boobs. She will be very happy of that. For lips, it's even not discussing question. Everybody like huge lips. Turkish girls are the same. Yes, I suppose. Tell us about Sputnik vaccine. So about vaccination. Sorry, Stefan, I will tell you how it's here. So here vaccination is absolutely not in fashion. A lot of people, we discuss that all this vaccination, so we consider that, okay, for Sputnik, for Pfizer vaccine, we discuss that it's cheap. Yes, that it's something that, as for me, I read a bit about this vaccine. As I understand, it works with my DNA, RNA, DNA. I'm not a big fan of that. For me, it's better to put different injections to my lips. It's better to put some injections to my DNA. No thanks. For Sputnik, and after that, what we discussed is that it's very expensive and it's difficult to keep fresh because it's should be keep with the temperature -70 or something. So Pfizer will not arrive to Russia very soon. I suppose we don't have this kind of fridges. For Sputnik, we see, because thank you. Yes, I'm Dor. I speak French a bit. So I have some friends who did vaccination with Sputnik. As for me, and it's their choice. I don't see the reason to do any vaccination because after vaccine of Sputnik, you can be infected against coronavirus. You will have this virus, but you have less problem with coronavirus. So if you it will be light, you will have only small flu or something. So this vaccine don't protect you 100%. After this vaccine you will have coronavirus anyway. It just will not be too strong. My experience, I had coronavirus 1 year ago. I bring it from Paris. How I survived it. I treated myself. Yes, I treated myself with regular Russian treatment. It's garlic, onion, lemon, ginger, and hot tea and hot water. So I I treated myself like that. I didn't know that I had coronavirus, and only because at the moment it was end of January and everybody, even in Paris, nobody care about any masks because everybody says that it's somewhere in Asia. But I suppose me, it's exactly that one person who bring it coronavirus to Moscow. Varniki, I suppose you wanted vareniki and vodka. No, I don't think that alcohol is very good for health. So, oh, thank you for. I absolutely need the compliment for my English. It's very important for me. About Sputnik, I say. Yes, Chechens have very good bodies, and you can recognize them from their back. It's true. I met certain Chechens in Nice, in France, and in Turkey, and it's really they are visible from their back. It's something. It's a kind of another race. Just incredible to be so different from. Um, Yes, for Belarus, in Belarus, absolutely calm. So I explained that I have impressions that all these fighters now they're in Russia, they moved to Russia to make all this protest on the streets of Russia to make this show there. Так, так. So, in fact, we discussed everything what I wanted to discuss with you. I did 75 minutes. I'm satisfied with my first stream. I hope you liked it. Now I will try to save this stream. As usually, subscribe on my channels. See you. Bye bye to everyone. Grand merci. So, how to finish that? Like that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for support. See you.